The SteelerFury Mock Draft War Room 2026. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Pittsburgh Steelers Show on the SteelerFury.com podcast. Tonight we are starting Epic Mock Draft 26, 3 live days of mock draft, where the SteelerFury podcast team will be facing off against 31 other podcast teams as we recreate the NFL draft for each of our teams. The Steelers are about to be on the clock and we're going to jump right into the action.
To the order.
Can you flip the board back on? I think it cut out when you went live.
Oh, yeah, sorry. There you go.
There we go.
Here we go.
So Tyson's the first one not taken, so we will make it like this.
That'd be a tough one as it comes to us.
Yep, I would go for that. I'm willing to take a shot.
I think I would too.
Oops.
Like it would be ironic if, the one year we need a wide receiver, the one guy at the top is a little banged up, so he doesn't go as high as, he probably could.
Yeah. Banks did not go. Lemon went, right?
Yeah, Lemon went to the Rams.
McCoy went.
They went. McCoy went.
Then Sadiq.
Yep, Sadiq's out.
Where is Sadiq on my?
Below low moon. Up.
I see it. Yep.
Right there. Yep.
Okay, but I think that's so far that's it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yep. Okay, so we're caught up. So the top of the board in terms of expected, this is not to say it's the top of our board, but in terms of expected draft position, this is what we're looking at. I suspect that, we're going to end up with the short-armed Utah lineman, the, Caden Proctor, one of the 2 defensive linemen we're interested in, CJ Allen, Omar Cooper. I feel like that's where we're headed. In fact, that will be on the board at 21. So I guess the question I'll throw to you guys is, who's left that's on the board at 21? I think we've already decided Jordan Tyson. If he's on the board at 21, we're staying. But if not, who else would we stay for that's left?
Do we think Caleb Banks will be there?
Yeah.
I'd be surprised
possible.
if he isn't at this point.
It's just that, big guy, huge guy with foot issues. So how do you guys feel about this? What would if we were able to trade down a little bit and then trade up into the second round to do those 2 things, what would your goals be with that? What do you think we can achieve from that? And is it worth it?
Omar Cooper and a guard, maybe.
Yeah, I'd say Omar Cooper and a defensive tackle.
Yeah, I was about to say you could trade down and get your pick of, a top defensive lineman, and then trade back up in round 2 to grab one of the kind of the top round 2 guys that we talked about, and Brazel, Ted Hurst,
Yeah, I mean, I love Cooper. I think Cooper's better than those guys, but I don't know how much better.
Right.
I don't know, Corey, how you feel about that.
I'm just on D tackle itself. I'm not so bullish. I'm never going to be against adding in the trenches, but I don't think we're so dire in the trenches that it's like a.
That's true.
Is linebacker a bigger issue than defensive tackle?
I think so.
So would you go
I would take Jacob Rodriguez over a lot of these D tackles.
Okay, so I would feel like I was just going to ask you, is it worth drafting a defensive tackle or a guard? Is it worth giving up Jacob Rodriguez? Because I think that's the choice you're really making.
I think that you've got dudes still. I still think that the D line, and there's always dudes floating around that are that get cut every year out of training camp that can end up playing, where I don't think we need I'm bullish on Harmon. I'll say that.
But let's put it this way, if we really need a bigger, giant guy to Lee Hunter to jam the middle of the field and clog things up, if that's what we're looking for, there's not that many of those guys left after him.
No, there are guys who can Lee Hunter. I would love Lee Hunter, to be honest. That's been a guy for a while. I just don't you told me what makes our defense better for the next 3 years, Lee Hunter or Jacob Rodriguez, I'd probably say Jacob Rodriguez.
Yeah. Well, it looks like, I mean, I would, from the looks of things, in terms of all this, the research and predictions, Omar Cooper is going to go between 18 and 29. And Jacob Rodriguez is going to go between 26 and probably I don't think he drops below 46 very much. So I feel like if we're trading down and trading up, or even staying home and trading up, that we're looking at Omar Cooper and then Jacob Rodriguez.
I'm glad people keep taking shitty edges so that
Yeah, I
It's,
said
uh,
so players will fall down to us. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the question,
I'm sorry, David Bailey at number 2 is ridiculous.
so do you think if we trade down, we're going to lose Omar Cooper and it's not worth the trade down?
Depends how far.
Yeah. So I'm saying, what's the furthest down you can imagine going and still getting Omar Cooper? Yeah. Like, let me look at here. Let's do something. Let's look at mock draft consensus big board. It'll show where he's been taken in mocks.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So, down here. So this is where he's gone in the last few published mocks. Like right where I said, 30, 24, 24 is 23. Those are early. But yeah, 30, 20, this looks like 23, 21 to the Steelers, 18 even. But the lowest number I see on here, really, like, it feels like it's, I would feel dangerous going below 26, maybe. The Browns are finding some way to trade back in to get a receiver.
Oh, they've got pick 24. So
there goes Tyson.
But Tyson's gone.
Shoot.
The thing is, they picked Tate. So here's the deal. Now,
true.
and now Cooper is the next wide receiver up.
Okay.
So, what I would
If we
say,
want him, I think we'd have to take him here.
yeah, here's my vibe.
Agreed.
Here's my vibe right now. It's take Cooper at 21, and then we're gonna have to fight like hell to trade up to try to get Jacob Rodriguez. I think that there was that trade offer that was, let's see.
So I will say this:
37.
If Cooper somehow goes before we pick, I say we trade the hell down.
Yeah. Although Rodriguez is, another sort of like fan favorite. Like, it's always like the guys who are the fan favorites as opposed to what the league really thinks,
Dallas says there is a trade.
I think that was about Tyson, but I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
I thought that might have been up before.
No, the Jets I thought were at 16. Yeah. I think they were.
Yeah. It just says there's a trade by
Here, I'm just going to KC just to see if they are interested in taking one of these deals,
okay.
because that would put us at 29. So, for instance, if we don't get Cooper,
A bit more stomachable of a range to take like a Proctor or one of the Utah guys.
But that's it. And also there's that San Francisco deal to move down to 27. I think we don't move to 27 unless we lose Cooper. How do you feel about that statement?
I would be on board with that.
Yeah, I would too.
And then we'll look at trying to get back into the second round. Our options are, 37, 43, 44, 48. But I think Rodriguez is gone before that.
What round did we take Caleb Johnson last year?
3rd round.
Oh God.
What a waste.
I know.
Imagine if you traded that pick for a 2026 pick. But we do have ammunition to trade up for Rodriguez, and I'm of the opinion that if we get Cooper, I don't mind spending a second and a third to move up. Like, I'd even do that deal, because we, mainly those are the two glaring prospects that we wanted to go up for. And then it's like, then we're just going to settle into like, find us a good value guard, find us the, Bud Clark, and then go from there. Right. I mean, it feels like that puts us on a good path.
It would be ironic, if Cooper went before we picked, we could trade down for like Rodriguez maybe, and then trade up for Lee Hunter, get both of them.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, yeah, let's see where McDonald goes, right?
Yeah, that's another guy who
Because I feel like I think he's gonna go before Lee Hunter, and then that'll give
he's
you sort of a gauge to like how soon you need to be worried about that. Would you take? By the way, I don't think not in the cards for us, but would you take Cassius Howell over Keldrick Falk? Let's see. He wants to do. Where's Kansas City? This one. His counter. Why am I not typing on my own thing? There we go. 121 plus 253 plus 121 4 129 plus 240 plus but yeah, I'm a little stuck here because I feel like unless we lose Cooper or give up on him, it's going to be really difficult to get both Cooper and Rodriguez, but I'll try.
I mean, we can make an aggressive trade up,
Yeah, that's what I mean. I can try banging some other people that are, in the next range to come. You guys keep an eye on the board and I'll see what I can do. Let me see here what our trade.
So, I mean, just to play devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
I mean, do we feel so strongly about Rodriguez that we couldn't settle for a trade up for like Hill or,
I like Hill a lot. Is he as a playmaker? Like, if we're looking for playmakers,
mm-hmm.
by the way, CJ Allen's still on the board. There's still some linebackers that are going to go.
That's the only reason I say that or whatever. It's like it is a deep linebacker class.
Not with green dots though. Like, tell me who's a green dot below Jacob Rodriguez. Maybe you can squint and see Jack Kelly do that, but
I think Torion York is a green dot kind of guy.
All right. So how about this question? If we took Jacob Rodriguez and lost Omar Cooper, but we trade up to get either Brazel or Hurst, how do we feel about that deal? Is that better than picking Cooper and losing Rodriguez?
I mean, I love Hurst. I think he's going to end up being really good as a pro.
It's drafting George Pickens that has better feet.
Right.
You don't think we could get, I don't know. You don't think Hurst will slip?
No, he's been going really early in everything lately.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a look. I mean, maybe that's a better play is to go for Rodriguez and then trade our way up or see what happens with the wide receivers. Like, basically, once
keep an eye on it and see if we need the trade up.
That's right. Once Cooper goes, and once probably Brazel is going to go first. But it's like I feel you get any of those three, Cooper, Brazel, or Hurst, I'm going to be very happy. But if we lose the linebacker, I just don't know we're ever going to replace it. That's sort of how I feel. I do think Cooper's better than them. I like Cooper better than the guys that have been drafted already.
Yeah. So one thing I've tried to be very good about this process is not be too biased towards my Indiana dudes. I mean, there's a legit bias there. I've tried to ignore it, look at these guys objectively. If you guys legitimately think Cooper is clearly above Hurst and Brazel, I'm totally fine with taking Cooper. I've just always tried to
what do you think though, Jeremy?
I've always tried to be very hard when grading IU players, so I don't have that's
so much for that plan, kids.
Oh shit, Rodriguez.
Damn.
I'm thinking about Carolina.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
IS holes.
Yeah. So
if Cooper goes, do we have a trade back ready to pull the trigger on now?
That's a very good question. I'm not sure because we lost the San Francisco one. That's gone.
San Fran's gone.
What was that deal that they just flipped back where we got a million picks Kansas City?
Yeah, this deal. So we move down 8 spots. We move up 13 in the second round,
That-
and we move down a couple in the fourth.
I really like having 40.
I do too. As Bowery said, that feels
Okay.
like
So
a
so
good idea.
we're prepared to possibly lose Omar Cooper.
Well, if we take Cooper, I'm saying, aren't we we want to take Cooper?
Oh, if
then
we're
if
going to
we-
take Cooper, then you're talking about second round deals.
Yeah, no, no. Like if Cooper goes in the next,
Oh, if he goes, we're doing the deal.
yeah,
Okay. I think we take the, I don't know, shit.
I think
Let's vote. Cooper or trade down?
So I think the other thing you have to realize here is I don't know if the Bears could easily take another receiver since they dealt DJ Moore.
Yeah.
So like I don't know if he's going to slip past. I don't know if he'll slip past Buffalo, even though they traded for DJ Moore, because Josh Allen could always use more weapons.
Yep, you're right about that.
Like Cowboys could
We should
add
pick-
another receiver to the room.
Yeah,
Think
so this is
they
what I'm
pick
saying. We should pick Cooper if we think he's better than those other guys.
I think we'd take Cooper. I think he's just a great fit for everything we need. He's a great fit, and we weren't even sure if he'd get here.
Okay.
Super
Jeremy, what do you
Cooper it is.
Okay, and then I'll work on those deals to move up if we want to, but then we have to figure out what we want to do. Maybe for guard. So let's you guys start thinking about what we would do if we traded up.
Okay. Let's see here.
All right, I'm doing it.
All right.
And I
Give
feel
the
like it's
playmaker.
I feel like it's a realistic pick too.
If Lee Hunter or Pregnon are there, I think we take one of those.
At
That's-
53.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
To go-
I would agree with that.
I like the idea of the first 2 picks getting a big guy and a playmaker. That I'm totally for that. Rutledge might make it there. He'd be right in that range. But, he's also
Yeah.
a name that a lot of people talk about. Like, here's what I would say. Chris Johnson doesn't have a lot of buzz right now. He's probably going to fall closer to, 46 or so.
there's not much buzz on Max Eye.
Yeah, there was quite a bit at one time.
I barely say I think there's some people that still are on the train, others that have gotten off. But yeah,
Can he play I think he can play guard and tackle. I
I
think,
think
he
he
can play
could.
he could play any of them if he were just a little more time. But all right, so
I mean, it'll be interesting to see how the offensive line board even falls here. Like, how long do we wait for Kenyon Proctor to come off the board, for the other Utah guy to come off the board?
well, we have time because 37 is the first pick that we can trade that we know we can trade up for.
Okay.
We could, unless we're going to try to trade back into the end of this. I right now have DMs open with Houston, with Dallas, actually Buffalo, Dallas, Houston, Kansas City, and Miami. I have comms open with all of them. New England and Seattle. Seattle doesn't have any picks, so they can't. I mean, they might do a trade down just because they need
They want
picks.
the picks, yeah.
The Patriots have I think they have one in each round, 7. So the trouble with that is I don't know. It's like they're gonna have to move down quite a bit to take our offer, and they don't have anything in between or any other capital to move around. So, but yeah, I'll reach out to Seattle. But I kind of feel like 37 is maybe 37 or 43, 44 still might be worth it to us.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe we don't need to move up all that much to get what we want.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
we're gonna look at the picks in a second here. Let's see. Our picks in order are. It's just like where I calculate the draft, the values, right? Here's our picks.
Yep.
Let me just make a new thing that's like who we picked and who we
Right.
might pick,
Yeah.
and like a plan.
Chargers took Peter Woods.
Good. I'm glad somebody took him for us.
Me too. Me too.
And Falk.
Yeah, just take them all. Take all the
Yeah, as
people.
Mary say, take the guys we don't want. Yeah, please.
I kind of feel like what's that? The tackle, offensive tackle from Clemson,
Blake Miller.
Blake
Yeah.
Miller. Like, yeah, take Blake Miller. That's fine. All right, let's see.
Okay.
So Corey, whenever you're back, I have the picks up.
Okay, I'm here.
So Peter Woods being the first defensive lineman off the board. I just don't see that happening in real life. But
Yeah, I don't either. He had so much buzz as a freshman.
It's because when you show up to Clemson already weighing 311 pounds and can see the field year one, like the Clemson hype train.
He looked good as a freshman. I think he looked better. Maybe that was one of his better seasons.
I think he gained weight, if you want me to be honest. I don't know if he had good weight on him.
Yeah. Let's have a look here and see. I mean, Jeremy, unless you have a safety you like better than Bud Clark, we're like all aboard the Bud Clark train.
Yeah.
I really don't want to miss him. If we can avoid it. So I was just trying to figure out what pick that should be at. So right now, he's the 91st player on the board.
Yeah, I'd be looking at Bud Clark with like one of our first third round picks if we're in that need of a safety.
Yeah, we're really trying to be sure about it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I think 76 is like a good place to say, hey, we want our center fielder. You know?
Yeah. All right.
The problem is I think we're to move up, well, we need to move 76.
By the way, I don't. Oh, to use that to move up. I mean, I could see Bud Clark being available, at 85. But
yeah, he definitely could be. No, don't get me wrong.
Well, like I said, I don't know that we have to move up to get guard or at 53.
I mean, you could easily see one of these guards be there at 53. I mean, there's like 4 here.
Or one of the tackles that we feel like is a good fit.
Right.
Yeah. I kind of feel like down here, we get into BPA territory.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely like room for edge or linebacker or wide receiver too.
Mm-hmm.
Running back.
Yeah, I mean, we could get real aggressive at receiver and take another one and just be we're going to score a bunch of points this year no matter what.
No, I mean, yeah. With the thing is,
McCarthy.
Hey,
yeah.
Hey, listen. If Ted Hurst makes it to 53 or Brazil,
ooh,
that would be very hard to pass up.
Well, Hurst in Brazil would fit the West Coast offense because they have good footwork.
They're both good
run
fits,
routes.
Yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't put that past us to like go off plan, especially because the problem is you're always going to feel like there's another guard down the road. Like, oh yeah, one more pick we can get a guard. Oh yeah, next pick we can get a guard.
Right.
Guards are like that, right?
Yeah. If we didn't feel like we needed like a day one starter at guard, like we need, like I'd be more on the board for like, let's double shoot for some playmakers. But
Corey, are you, he's not there right now.
What'd you say?
I was just going to ask you how you felt about Micah Morris.
He's okay.
Monroe Freeling just went to the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super high on him. I think he's great, but I appear to be in the minority on that. I just feel like he's super big and really explosive and can move. Isn't that what you want in a guard? Maybe I'm missing something.
So sorry, who are you talking about there?
Micah Morris from Georgia.
Oh yeah, Morris. Oh, Lomu just went.
Yep, I just caught him off. I just marked him off the sheet. Caleb Banks is taking the fall for his foot injury.
Right.
Yeah, foot injury. Big dudes with foot injuries. You're not lying. Well, that's that might push him into the 3rd or 4th, depending on how like the in-house medicals look.
Out of curiosity, and I can't remember this, but what was the injury that pushed Stephon Tuitt back to us in like beginning of the with 2018, 2017. What was it that pushed him down the board? Wasn't it a foot injury?
Might have been.
Yeah.
I know we got we definitely drafted someone in that time frame who had a foot injury, and we were like, is it going to be Liz Frank? Oh, it was no, that wasn't him. That happened later. Emmanuel Sanders. But yeah, no, I don't remember who it was. Yeah, this thing is flying by, this draft. But it's cool. I mean, maybe Anthony Hill like sneaks down a little bit.
I'm getting a feeling someone might slip to that second pick that we really like.
I think that could be just fabulous, right? Why the hell not? So going back to the our sheet. What's the earliest pick that you guys would use on a quarterback?
Like 4th round for me, honestly. I want like real playmakers if we're gonna like day 1, day 2. I want bona fide playmakers that are gonna make a difference this year, and I don't think a quarterback is gonna do that.
I'd take Taylor at 76.
You're talking about you said Taylor Green?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would go with the vote on that. I'm not.
I mean, the thing is, I just can't see this coaching staff developing him to fit this offense. Like, that's the problem with it. Like, in a vacuum, he's going to go to some team and he's going to be really good, probably, possibly. I just, like, he goes to some place where they can make, they have a plan for making it work. It'd be great. But this, Mike McCarthy's never developed shit. He's never drafted and developed a quarterback ever.
Oh, and this just goes to show you how good my memory is about some things. Sure enough, Stephon Tuitt, foot injury in his last year before declaring.
Good for you, man.
To pick 48. I only mentioned that because Caleb Banks kind of has similar qualities to Stephon Tuitt as, big, powerful mover. If he were somehow available at 53, it'd be interesting to roll the dice on that. But
I'm sorry.
That Jeremy, to be honest, so I think that's
which guy you're talking about. Banks?
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I'm trying to give my opinion about the quarterbacks. I kind of feel like 99 is probably the place where we should decide what we're doing. Because I think you're going to have these 3 guys on the board, and you might even have Nussmeier there. So it's like, I feel like if all 4 of those guys are on the board, maybe you wait till 121.
Yeah. I mean, out of curiosity, and I don't remember whatever, because last year was last year a good quarterback class? I can't believe I'm saying
every year is supposed to be a good one until the draft.
This year, one of the problems with this year was that guys went back who had no business going back.
Mm-hmm.
Trinidad Chambliss would have made this a hell of a lot nicer looking quarterback class, but if people thought Arch Manning was going to come out and that Dante Moore was going to come out, neither of which happened. So, but next year, even if you just count the guys who are out of eligibility, it feels like it's going to be an outstanding. I can't imagine that there aren't 6 quarterbacks in the first 40 picks who are all really good, and you might be happy with any of them. Drew Mester.
How far does Aller have to fall for us to pull the trigger on him?
Pretty far.
Below the other 4 guys.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, okay, let's have this conversation. What order do you guys have these in? Like, I'm going to put our votes down here.
1 for me.
Mm-hmm.
2, 3, 4.
And Aller 5.
Yeah.
You have them in that order. I have them for the Pittsburgh Steelers. this year. Eh, eh. Eh. How about you, Jeremy?
All right. Well, let's start with Aller at 5. I'll go Aguilar next.
At 4?
Yeah. Then go Green.
Okay.
Peyton 1, Nussmeier 2.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like the reason I'm going to just give you my pitch on Aguilar. You like some of the stuff Phil Simms was saying about him really struck me, and that was about he said he's out of all the quarterbacks he watched this year, of which there were most of them, that he was the only one that was actually reading pre and post snap like more like an NFL guy does, which I thought was pretty impressive. And I feel like for the offense that the Steelers are going to run, his accuracy might be the best. I mean, either him or Nussmeier. You know, Traylon Green's capable of making the best throws of anybody on that list. Like he can make sick throws, and his running is like, only Cole Payton is even close to what Traylon Green is as a runner. But yeah, it's just like the fit scares me a little bit. Me, it is my favorite quarterback coming into the season, so it's hard for me to say that. But it's just more like how it fits the team. If I were picking some other team, I would have him easily ahead of the others. Caden Proctor just went.
Okay.
The Bears.
What?
What is their offensive line situation? That surprises me.
Like they just re-signed a center. I thought, unless they're not a big fan of the guy that they were playing at left tackle last year, I don't know if I really see that.
Or maybe they wanted to play guard.
Yeah, but they've got Tooney and the other guy. I'll bring it up here. Just surprised. Let's see here. Bears have Tooney and Jonah Jackson, who they just signed like last year.
And they have Darnell Wright at the right tackle.
Right. I mean,
so
I thought Ozzie Trapillo kind of played okay down the road. Maybe.
Yeah, that seems like a weird choice.
Yeah, that's why I was like, wow. Ooh, someone's trading up with Buffalo.
Yeah, he mentioned that they wanted to trade. They were looking to trade down.
Yeah.
For some time now.
Well, they lost that extra pick with the DJ Moore trade too. So,
yeah. But okay, so like who are they? Are they trading up for? Let me see. This is Buffalo's trading out.
Right.
So someone's trading in for, I'm going to guess, Banks or McDonald.
Very say there's some good defensive linemen on the board still this late.
Yeah, can't. I mean, or a wide receiver. They're worried about not. I don't know. Buffalo seems to be content with their wide receiver situation, but maybe they figure wherever they're trading down to, they're going to get something back.
Yeah. Well, then we don't know how far they're trading down yet either. May not even be that big of a move down or move up. So you could just see one of these teams trying to trade up just to leapfrog a team or two, just to make sure.
Yeah.
You see that happen in the real draft all the time. So.
Yeah. It's funny, our live stream right now only has Jeremy on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to maybe change the setup. That's funny. All right, well, the things you learn. Yeah, that's weird. Okay. I'll stop the sharing for a second and see if I can get the layout. Oh, I see. There's the layout.
All right, fellas, I gotta run out.
Right on. So I think we sort of have a plan, know how you feel, but
Yeah.
will you be available to at least like be texting and stuff tomorrow or drop in or something?
I will be.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds
All right.
good, sir.
Take it easy, man. I think we're good for now.
All right, fellas. Talk to y'all
Later.
tomorrow.
Okay,
Later.
good night.
Yep.
Share that back again. 2. It's the layout.
Blake Miller, the Cardinals traded up. Damn. So
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay, content only.
They saw the run on offensive tackles and said, we got to go up.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, right?
Yeah. Ooh, Cowboys of Malachi Lawrence. I mean, with how people view this edge class, it does not surprise me. I think almost at the end of every draft, you see edges and corners go that, fit schemes better than others. And, there's always a big disparity on how certain edges are rated by teams and whatnot. And same with corners. And he is an athletic freak. If he just becomes a better football player, watch out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out why Jeremy's the only person on screen.
Huh.
Oh, there's me. I see what it is now. It's like whoever's talking
Oh,
is on there. But that's not the setting that I really wanted. Yeah, I mean I'm we do feel a little disconnected since we only have Corey in and out. We're trying to figure out what to do. But also the fact that tomorrow's another day for the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess we're just we're in the sort of BPA mode, which is all right. It's an all right place to be. Well, we're gonna have some choices to deal with, especially if we want to trade up to 37. But I should probably let him know. It seems unlikely now that we're gonna want to trade up to there.
Yeah, I think we're probably best set to just kind of wait it out at this point. But just because it's like I feel like we got our playmaker now, and the linebacker we wanted went before we were before we even picked anyway.
Yep. Well, that made our decision easier. That's for sure.
It definitely did.
Yeah, I dig that. Yeah, and I feel like this edge class is so weird and specific. Like everybody's just gonna have somebody that they like.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like Jalen Kilgore enough to think about him with our next pick if we don't get a guard? Play nickel.
But potentially, it would depend who else is still on the board. Like I wouldn't take him over. Like if Keontae Scott's still.
Oh no, Keontae Scott would be should be near the top of our list for the next.
Yeah,
but yeah, I feel like he's. Yeah, I feel like there's going to be somebody there. What do we have? We have.
I feel like we're gonna have a dude just sitting there. Like then it's like, man, how do we pass on him?
The guy who picked Jacob Rodriguez at 19 says, "quote I may or may not have panic picked." That's hilarious.
So,
well, I'm just thinking that we should make some little piles of just guys to watch and just try to nail down some of the ones that are sort of in the group together. We did this last year with I thought it was really great with the receivers bunched up. But yeah, it's funny. Like now that Carolina pick really changed the course of the whole draft for us.
We
right?
did.
Just like one unexpected pick. Cause I think I expected him to go the first round, but to go to Carolina at 19 is not something that was on my scorecard. So
yeah, who did we get screwed out of last year? Like we were furious that we missed him. You remember who that was? Like round 2 receiver.
Oh, Savion Williams. Yeah,
definitely. That's who it was. Yeah.
This was it was a little like that in that it was unexpected. But yeah, this so yeah, gonna have to sort of puts us totally into BPA mode and who falls to you rather than aggressively trying to do this and that and the other. It's sort of amazing how much that shifted because we would have picked Rodriguez. I think we would have picked Rodriguez, and then we'd have been just trying to aggressively trade up until Omar Cooper came off the board, and that would have been fun. More all that draft ammo, more fun to do. But yeah, who knew we had to trade up to get Jacob Rodriguez?
Right.
Probably, according with the way that he just said post pick, Raj said that it was just he had 3 BPAs on his board and it wasn't really anybody that he was planning on taking. I bet if we had offered him like a 4th round pick or a 5th round pick to move up, it's like if he had texted us and said, "I know you love Jacob Rodriguez, will you give me what do you give me so that for this pick so I don't take him," we would have had a different conversation. But that's not how it works, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
One more pick. We're trying to hold out. All right, man. Well, like I said, I can just tell we're so like fried. 2 days of it's hours and hours of podcasting. I think yesterday was 4 hours, and then tonight 2 and 2:15 or whatever. So no, just since 6, so almost 3.
Yeah,
so
almost 3. Yeah,
it's time to go have a life or pretend to have one. For a minute.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you for joining the live cast. I'm sure it was not super duper exciting, but it was for a little while there when we were going to go pick.
Yeah.
We'll be back again tomorrow at same bat time, same bat channel, 6:30 p.m. Also live stream. We'll try to get started a little bit more on time tomorrow, maybe even a bit early. And if you got any questions in the chat or whatever, let us know. And we will sometimes try to pay attention to the YouTube chat. It's hard I'm juggling like 15 things at one time, but I'm glad you're here and to see it. And Jeremy, thanks. Shout out to Corey and to TJ Wenger for helping us this week. Hope to see him. I think Saturday he's going to check in to our live cast. And otherwise, we will see you all tomorrow on YouTube for the SteelerFury Pittsburgh Steelers Show podcast. Later.
See you.
Steeler